Good morning, good morning. How are ya? Good to have you all. Thank you for joining me this morning. Taking a look at the markets this morning. And I see some good opportunities here. Actually, one that was just missed. I saw it last night and I was pretty disappointed that it took place before I even got home. Anyways, we're going to talk about that. It's happening. It happened on gold yesterday. Price came into a 4-hour area of supply. I don't know what's going on with the price charts though. Look at the look at the 12-month chart. What happened here? I have no idea. Look at the date on this one. Crazy. I don't know. Hopefully it'll fix itself because that's not right. The 6-month chart looks good though. The monthly chart, I don't know if that's what's going on here. Don't believe, see, that's what it's supposed to look like, something like that. You guys getting the same situation happening on your charts? I don't know what's going on here, but not cool. You was waiting for me? Oh yeah, I guess that would help shrink my face. How about I shrink my face and then I show you what I'm talking about? That could help, eh? Monthly chart, look, it's missing candles. You guys getting that? It's supposed to look like this. Okay, look at the monthly chart here, and now look what when I switch it. See, there's candles missing. Yours look like that? Anyways, hopefully they fix that. Don't know what's going on, but look at gold dropping. I hope all those naysayers out there on YouTube that have been barking at me over the last while about gold. I don't know why you say gold is going to drop, sir. It's not going to drop. It's going to keep on going up forever. I don't know why you keep saying it's going to drop. Some people, I don't know. I have no idea how they exist in this world and how they survive with the mentality and the how they are. I have no idea. So, you know, just as a reminder to those or to anyone new watching these live sessions when it comes to gold, I'll tell you exactly what it was that I was sharing with you guys and why I was sharing this information with you guys. We look at the Commitment of Traders report every single week, and what we are looking at is we're looking at the positions held by the big institutions. The reason why we do this is because we know that the markets move because the institutions either buy it or sell it, period, okay? The world's biggest banks move the markets, period. Not you, not me, not hedge funds. The world's largest banks move the markets. So you want to track what they're doing. So if they've already accumulated a massive long position on gold and we're starting to see evidence that they're taking profits on their long position, then what's likely going to happen is price is going to drop, okay? Because when they start taking profit on long positions, it causes prices to drop, okay? If they're not buying anymore, you shouldn't be buying. And this is what I've been warning for the longest time about gold. And yes, it went up a little bit more. So what? So what? If you wanted to capture those little tiny moves, then so be it. If you're a scalper or day trader and you know what you're doing and you know how to capture those moves, then so be it. But what we were talking about was the larger picture, the greater picture. And you could look at the long column and you can see that they're taking profits on their long positions. This is why we were warning everybody. So those people on YouTube, I don't know why you're saying when it's still going up. This is exactly what what I was talking about, okay? So hopefully you see this and you zip it. Okay? Man, God. Anyways, so this is what I've been talking about. You see how it's coming down towards a weekly demand zone? Yeah, you see how that's happening now? Okay. This is what I've been talking about. So there's a lot of people up here holding long positions right now in gold at the 3,400 area. Remember, all the banks coming out and having targets much higher on gold to entice people to buy at the highs. When I was saying don't buy, they're offloading their long positions, okay? Don't be one of those suckers that's taking on a long position when the banks are offloading them to you. You don't want to do that, all right? So now we're coming down, and I'm going to be watching for the long signal from this area here, okay? I'm watching for price to come down here, watch for the long signal, and then I will enter into a long. So now that I know that, the pressure is to the downside because we just had a daily area of demand that was holding price up, get taken out. As you can see, it was this one here. We were waiting and waiting and waiting for this area to be taken out, and it took place. Now it came down to this area, reacted to the upside, but we suspect that this will be taken out as well. I was watching for a signal on a rally, a potential rally. If this zone held and gave me another rally, I was watching for a short signal there to take advantage of the move down. Didn't take place. Instead, it took out the daily area of demand, responded to this area here, started pushing back up, and it pushed up right inside a 4-hour supply zone that I had drawn out. And so I was interested in going short off that 4-hour supply, but when I came in yesterday, it was too late. The move had already taken place, right? So here is the 4-hour area of supply. So this is banks selling, okay? Banks sell, come, go back into the sell zone, drop. Banks sell, drop, come back into the sell zone, drop. Now, yes, we had a slight wick above the zone there, but we know how to deal with that type of wick. We still have the expectation of this supply holding. So what's the signal? The signal is to watch for momentum to shift, and that's exactly what took place right at the highs here. Okay, let me show you how that took place. So price came into the supply area. This is the big red rectangle here. And as you can see, when it first came in, look how strong the RSI was. So you don't want to touch it. You don't want to touch it when it's that strong. Okay, you don't want to look for any short positions at that time. So you wait. And look what took place. Okay, so we got the big drop. Okay, that was a big drop, big reaction, big selling. But look what took place. Okay, look at the RSI here. This is the wick out on the other side of that supply. Price dropped, came back up, and take a look at the RSI, okay, at 60. This is telling us that the next move down is going to be greater than the previous move. And so this is what took place. Price dropped and produced a supply here. And then this is what took place here. So I was watching this last night, and I realized I already missed the short here because that took place before I got home from the family outing. But I paid attention to this zone here. I said, this is an important zone. And something's likely going to happen here. Hopefully tomorrow morning there'll be a setup. So I had to go to sleep. I was exhausted. It wasn't like I'm going to sit here by that computer screen and wait for a trade. I couldn't do that. So I went to bed, and sure enough, I was dead right because let's see how this played out. All right, price came up. To first tested the zone, but watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Okay, watch what's about to happen. Watch this. Boom. You see that? That's supply now on the shorter time frame. Institutional supply coming in right here. Took out this demand zone. So selling is becoming the priority here. And we knew that because once this supply held, we knew that it was likely going to drop price all the way down to our weekly demand zone. All right. And sure enough, look what happened. Hit that supply and institutional selling. Boom. You see that? So that would have been a really good short trade should the signals have been there when I was um, available. But that's okay. You know, we just waiting for the next one. No problem. So short-term selling is what's in play now. And we suspect that it's just a matter of time until price gets down to the weekly area down here. So we got to be patient, okay? The demand is here. Right here. And that's what I'm expecting is price to come down into here, okay? Boom, boom. And then give us a signal to the upside. All right, so that is what I'm going to be watching for. May not happen today. This looks like something that's setting up for next week. All right. So just be on the watch out for that. So silver, remember I told you all this time, I'm like, you see how silver is very lacking in movement to the upside? This is telling us that gold is going to be dropping. Okay. These are the signs that I was pointing out. And now you see exactly what's taking place. So nat gas, remember nat gas? We were waiting for a drop. So that drop is taking place now. Really good. And look at the initial drop. RSI was very, very weak. So we needed another pullback to give us an RSI around 40. Now we need a bullish momentum candle to be produced. It's a little bit more above 40 than I would particularly like. I would like for it to come down a little bit more, but that's okay. It's not too bad. Provide us with a basing candle, which is what's likely taking place right now. If you take a look at this candle, looks like basing is being created. Then we need a bullish candle to be created, and then away we go. It's looking pretty good for that. All right. So that's nat gas. Copper fell short of hitting the supply, now dropping. I'm gonna wait to see how that plays out. Aussie, it was looking for a short signal up here. I didn't get the particular move that I would want. Okay. It wasn't very good up here, what we got on the daily time frame. What I was really looking for was a basing candle and a momentum candle. And instead, we got a momentum candle and another type of basing slash border candle right next to it, which is not what I wanted. So I'm still watching this chart to see if it produces something a little bit better. Euro not making much sense in its price action, so I'm staying away from it. The only trade I'd like to take is a long from down here on the weekly time frame. Okay, if it gets down here, I'll be interested in longing. But right now it's in the middle of the ocean, and the winds can come in any direction, as you can see. You know, it's like a sailboat out in the middle of the ocean, and you're trying to determine what direction it's going to go. But 1 minute it's blowing to the south, 1 minute it's blowing to the north. You know, it's doing whatever it wants to do. So when there's no rhyme or reason, you stay out. And you stick with what works and what is clear. Right now, euro is not clear, so I'm sticking away from it. If it comes down to dock here on the weekly, and it starts to leave the dock, then I know what direction it's going in, and then I'll trade that direction. Same with the pound. It's just not making much sense here. We had a short signal that was produced. It started to drop, and then it just stopped in the middle of nowhere and started heading upwards. So not cool. So we're not trading it right now. There could have been a US CAD long signal that we were watching for. We needed a drop to take place to produce a RSI of 40. That didn't happen. It's just coasting sideways, not making sense. So I'm staying away from it. US Swiss franc long signal on the daily time frame, and it's just stalling here, not doing much. And this was our original long signal. We had two targets, daily target. As you can see, the daily target was hit, okay? And there was a reason why we had our daily target there, was because I knew that there was a good chance that once this daily target area got hit, that there was going to be a reversal and price was going to drop from there. Short term, long term, very difficult to tell. That's why the first target was there. Okay. Second target is up here. That's the bigger target, the one that's not as conservative as the first one. Let's just put it like that. So U.S. Swiss franc. I don't like the way it looks, guys. I'm not going to trade it. Demand was contacted. We got the push. We could still get a push to the downside because when we look at the weekly time frame, RSI was extremely weak. So there could be another push. And if there is, and we get like an RSI of 40, I'll look for long signals from down that area. Okay. But as things stand now, I don't like where it's at. It looks like the move to the upside's been exhausted, daily target hit, and now it could reverse back to the downside. And if that happens, that's great. We'll watch for it to build a foundation, and then we'll participate in a long trade again. And U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, the long signal hit target on the daily time frame. That worked out quite well. And I was asked, I think last week, would I go long? Do I think U.S. dollar, Japanese yen is going to continue higher? When we were already up here at the highs, and I said I would not want to be long, not from up there. No, remember that? I mean, if I was long and I took partial profits here with my secondary target here, okay, that's fine. But I wouldn't have gotten in long up there because the reason why I put my target here is because I knew that this area was likely an area that if we were going to get a drop, it would have started from there. And so this is exactly what took place. So I hope you guys see that, when I put my targets, I'm not putting my targets at just a random 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 or, you know, I'm choosing my targets in a very specific way. Okay. I'm looking at the dynamics of what has taken place on the charts and looking at potential areas where the banks could start taking profits off of their short-term moves. And that was one of the areas. So I'm not liking this one too much too. Not good for a trade at this point. I'll wait and see. We're hitting this area here on the weekly time frame. So we could start seeing a bigger move to the downside form from here. So I don't have any plans to trade US dollar, Japanese yen at this time. One of you want to take a look at Bitcoin. What's happening with Bitcoin? Well, we rallied up, contacted this previous area of supply, and just sitting sideways there. Not much going on. But you remember I had this range here on the daily time frame that supply got taken out, creating demand. Price came down to the demand zone, and then took off. We had I think we had a long signal there too. Yeah, it was looking pretty bad at one point. It looked like the zone was going to be taken out. Oh, I didn't feel comfortable going long there because I had the higher time frame demand lower. And that's the area that I had preferred. But first test, second test, third test, in around 40, a little bit lower than I would like, 35. But that's where it took off, in around that 40 area, right? Interesting. But again, I wasn't looking to get in long there. It was too high up on the chart, and no, I would have preferred a little bit lower. And too bad, price never got down there, but that's okay. What are you going to do? And now it's just sitting at the highs here. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's take a look at the weekly time frame. Let's take a look here. Let's look at this peak, right? RSI, higher high, and RSI the same. And now we're making another potential peak, RSI lower. I don't know. We're going to get a basing candle and then a move to the downside. This could be it topping out here for a larger move to the downside. Okay. It could be. It very much could be. I don't know. I wouldn't feel comfortable buying up there. So we'll see. It could be in preparation for a move to the downside. Even the monthly time frame looks like it. Yeah. looks like it's running out of speed here. So I'd be watchful of that. Okay. Let me go on to ADP. This was one of our latest signals for members. Okay, using the RSI concept, we got in down here with target just a little bit higher, and it's racing towards our target right now. That trade is working extremely well. But I just wanted to take a quick look at the S&P, show you what's going on here. We had a supply that price came into, it based, and now it's ripping through. So this is giving us long signals for the stock market, okay? Once again, like I mentioned to you, price rallied right into an institutional buying zone here on the monthly time frame. And I told you that the likelihood was price was going to rally. And this is exactly what took place. And I pointed out the articles where the big banks are coming out saying we could see a 20% drop here or another 20% drop. This can continue. The economy is not good. This is likely going to drop. Remember all those big bankers coming out and forecasting that the market was going to drop even further? And I told you, don't listen to them. They just dropped price into an institutional buying area. They're going to start buying this market. And this is exactly what they did. From exactly the exact spot, okay, that I told you it was going to happen from. I mean, crazy, right? That's why they called me magic traders, because the stuff that I was doing seemed like magic. It's like, how could price have just moved from the exact spot that you pointed out? It's like magic, isn't it? No, it's not magic. When you know what drives the market and you can locate their institutional buying and selling zones, it's not magic. You're just locating the buying and selling. And once you understand the dynamics of how the markets move, that's it. All right, guys. I'll leave you with that. Hope that was helpful. And hit the like button if you enjoyed today's session. And if you get something out of it, that's great. I'd like other traders to get something out of it. And the more likes, you know how it works. The more likes and shares, the more it gets out to other people's feeds. So appreciate that. And thanks for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. We'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody.